All right. Well, I'm excited to dive into mid elo. You know, some days I'm all about the lels, all about the lower elos where you never know exactly what to expect. But more and more, I've been trying to mix in some mid elo content, some mid elo casts. And because I know there's some tremendous strategies, some crazy games that can happen. Players obviously have a lot more skill at this elo, but are not perfect. And I'm excited. We've got Armo 193 playing as the Lithuanians. There's no L because I blocked it. Sorry. And then here in the blue, we've got Oh Snap. It's Robert playing as the Mongols. Mongols are the best civilization for this map, or one of the best civs in this map, you could say. The map is Scandinavia, which is very rarely in the 1v1 pool, but is in it right now. And the reason Mongols are best is because you have 3 boars, and there's also a big group of deer, and Mongols hunt faster. So Mongols are all about the hunt. This is the map that's going to give you the most hunt. Makes sense. That said, Lithuanians are not bad, starting with the extra food, and you can use all the additional food then to maybe go for a fast rush. I'll be curious to see if the players fight for water at all here, as docking is always an important aspect of this map at higher elos. You know, you do have to pay attention to the shoreline, though, and usually bring a scout with your villager if you're going to dock. That is until the devs change Scandinavia, so there's no wolves on the shoreline, which I'd fully believe they will do eventually. I just have to leave a couple more posts about that. So what I would probably expect, let's think, 1200s. You have probably some good YOLO players who can go for like fast castle play, but it's probably a good elo for a scout rush, right? So that's what I'm thinking. I also think at 1200, even though they know how to wall, I think it's probably likely that they wouldn't be able to full wall their base and still have a good fast castle time. So that's my guess right now. Is a scout build. Again, you've got plus 150 food on one side, and then you have the Mongol player who will bring in the food faster. And, ooh, wait a second. We've got Loom from blue. And Red Scout is just passing that. And I think Red spotted that villager, actually. Red might be able to see the little tracks there. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Is he going to steal this? Oh, he's laming. He's Mongols and he's laming. And we have a town bell? Town bell at 1200 elo. Interesting. All right. Well, now the deer's being shot down. All right. Well, here's the deal. Like, I feel like doing this against Mongols is probably good. Or doing this if there's only like 2 boars is really good. I'm not so sure it's really good. Or it's necessarily worth it on a map that has so many boars. But if Red doesn't know how to deal with it, then who knows? Clearly, Red's distracted at the moment. And Red didn't get Loom, for example, which is probably what you'd want to do there. But, okay, Red's going to finish the mill eventually. And, yeah, this is like sacrificing your scout against this. It would not be a good play here if you're Red. Blue hungry for that scout. Blue still moving, just passing. Red's like angry at life at the moment. Red scout needs to be saved. Villager's still running around. Scout gets hit from blue. Both scouts are weak. Blue goes back to kill the scout from red. Red continues to chase. Red now runs away. Blue now runs back. Blue hasn't created villager in 45 seconds, 46 seconds, 47 seconds. Aha! There you go, because blue was distracted. But yeah, interesting strategy. Honestly, you know, I think it worked out if you consider the idle time from the opponent's villagers, but not so much from your own TC. But that's the risk you take when you lane. You do the math at least, it doesn't look good for blue. But like red's getting housed, and red is probably annoyed, and sorry, just got to turn off my phone. Just a lot of different things have gone down. Now red scout is weak, so who knows? Only thing red knows is that blue is here, but I'm really happy that red still has the scout. And now blue is now going to dock. Okay. So I think docking is a great play. I think it is something you should definitely look to do on this map. There's enough fish out there where it's worth it. Blue still hasn't clicked up to the next stage. But that could be because blue doesn't have the second building. This is a common problem with Mongols. You get the food so fast, and you're like, okay, let's go feudal with 500 food, but then you don't have your second Dark Age building. So a second Dark Age building could be a barracks, mill, dock. And we actually have the dock, and we're going to have a mill. Red is going for a barracks and has 2 villagers on gold, which is making me think Red's going to go for man-at-arms. But the barracks timing is definitely delayed if the man-at-arm rush were to be perfect. But it's not necessarily going to be expected to be perfect at this elo, right? Also, blue sending a scout over here now. I think that might just be auto scout at this point. Or he's just set waypoints to see if the opponent's docked. Meanwhile, blue still hasn't clicked up to the next stage. Still looking to wall. Is starting to add a fishing ship now. And just as I mentioned, right? Like now the militia are coming out, then men-at-arms will come in. But still red's going to have some pressure. I think red probably, having the weak scout, is scared to lose it. And so doesn't want to scout the opponent with it. But I think it'd be very helpful to try and get in the habit of scouting the opponent with it. Remember my theory. I said that at this elo, players were not going to be able to full wall and fast castle properly. Let's see if blue proves me wrong. Blue has proven me right. Blue has proven me right. We'll have fishing ships, which I love. And might even be fully walled. I'm not entirely sure yet. But, yeah, it's going to be interesting from here. Let's see what red can see. How do I switch to full screen on my phone? I think you turn your phone to the side, and then it either auto full screens or you press the little button that full screens it. So I think red clicked behind. Okay, now red sees a wall. Now it's decision time if you're red. Because what you don't want is for these things to try and find the hole the whole time. So you either start to attack the wall, or you just commit and you try and get through. And we're going to see red try and break through. Blue's going to have to respond. Blue's going to place a house. Okay, now red can see there's a hole and is attacking. And blue notices that. Oh, man, I'm really upset that he didn't wall to this. Okay, so here's the deal. You attacking a house nonstop is your best play in this position. That's my tip, okay? Because especially if you have an archer range follow-up, which red isn't going to do, they've got to repair it, or they've got to place more houses. They've got to do all these different things. Now, Palisades is just going to lead to them making a house, but I feel like a lot of people... Oh, God, blue. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. Make a house. Not the Palisades. Not the Palisades. Red, run in. Run in. Run. He's in. Danger. Danger. Men-at-arms are here. The villagers don't know what to do. The archery range does have archers on the way. Oh, God. What? Red's actually doing the right thing to not attack the vills when there's this many vills going to attack him. Because you would lose the fight. And that is a lot of idle time. So well played from red. Now, red's economy is 21 on wood and 1 on food. So that's not exactly pretty. But I really like red's patience here. And I find it impressive. Blue now is just going to separate his villagers from his archers. And now that archer's going to lure... He's going to try and lure the army out of the base. Oh, God. Okay, now, you know, the key here is, like, transitioning into farms normally if you're red. But obviously, as red does that, it could suffer a bit with unit control. I don't know. I think I still prefer blue's position because blue has the fishing ships. But if the fishing ships weren't there, I think I would prefer red's position if red would add more farms. Yeah, I haven't actually experienced any of the apps on Android personally, so that's why I said it depends on your version. But if you don't get responses here, use the Discord, and people are always talking in there on things that you can do and try. And I also, as a more constructive way, so I can pass things along to the platform, because I won't remember anything that's said here. But sorry if you're having an issue with that. Probably worth it to chase this archer down if you're red. Let's look at the food collected. Okay, so total resources collected, red does have the lead. Lots of farms now for red. Also, decently walled, but not fully walled. I think there was another kill somewhere, and that was just blue killing that. So only one villager was killed in this game. But it's clear to me that in the end, we're going to see blue try and get to Mangudai. Now imagine if blue did all of that, but didn't, or received all that damage, but didn't have the fishing ships. These fishing ships have brought him in hundreds of food. So I think the fishing ships kind of saved blue a little bit there. Okay, so I'm thinking this through. So that was a man-at-arm into economy play, right? It was not man-at-arm into archer range combined with my man-at-arms play. Now, I've seen 1200 before, and I know that they do sometimes add the range, but how quickly it follows up and how good the eco looks with it can differ. So I guess what I'm trying to think is probably like 1400 maybe? I think at 1400 is when the archers follow up right away behind that type of rush. Blue's walling skills are pretty decent, right? Like, obviously did make the mistake to let the man-at-arms in. Yeah, so the reason I mentioned the follow-up is before he broke in, I was talking about attacking the house. If you do have a follow-up archer, they could repair all they want, but the archer just hits the repair villain, and it's just constant pressure, and it smothers them. And we do have red on the way up. Red's going to go into stable units, it looks like, as there will be 2 stables, and with the Lithuanians, always makes sense, I guess. The temptation is always going to be there to try and go knights with the Lithuanians, but I think it's definitely a crucial moment to remember that you do also get very good skirmishers. The thing is, red doesn't know that his opponent's building up towards a castle. This man-at-arm still being super annoying. And blue just lost his archer there. And now red's got his scout heading over this way to C. And is also going to add an archer range. So if I could give a small tip. Now this may or may not be helpful for anyone out there. But make a gate here, red. And it's okay to make building walls. But like, don't build it with everything. Because sometimes it can be really annoying with pathing. Okay, so he's going to see the golds. It's good. Okay. Probably maybe doesn't have as much experience to know when up against the Mongols, you should be checking to see if they're on stone. First thing red does in the next stage. Okay, there's another archer range. Wood upgrade and TC. On Arabia, where the players are far apart, I like it. I'd say you do definitely need to be worried about all-in military on this type of map because you're really close, really hard to move around. If blue could sneak more villagers up on the right side and dock, or even another villager to walk over here and redock, it would be really good. Blue still 45 seconds from the next stage. Needs to be careful. Red Scout could kill a few villagers. And now we have a siege workshop from red. I don't think red's going to have the resources to make any siege because the balance isn't there. But if red could make siege right away, there's a chance whatever castle goes up gets denied. Also, this stone could be overmined here in a second. Ooh, I think blue just forgot about this. And now the scout's in. That scout's got armor, attack, and bloodlines. And this could lead to a follow-up with knights as well, as blue's going to re-wall it. The red's now in. The red could also see there's a hole here. Oh, God. Oh, God. Okay. Okay, blue noticed it, though. Blue noticed it. Blue's now dropping a castle. Good job from blue. I like the re-wall, and I like getting the castle up right away, because you have no army right now. The red's being really annoying, though. Okay, red. Okay. Okay, creating vills. Good. Looking to pressure. Again, don't hesitate to attack houses. There's a lot of hesitancy here to attack a house. Houses go down super fast. Take out the house. Don't look for palisade walls the whole time. I promise you. It's going to force reactions like you would never believe. See, he's always looking for the palisades. It's a lot easier for the opponent to just wall behind a palisade. We see a house from Oh Snap, it's Robert. Mangudai also on the way. We do have the siege from over top of the houses there. Blue reacts. Blue's castle is up. Blue's making Mangudai. And if Blue can micro, Mangudai's really, really strong. But obviously under a lot of pressure right now. Food count's amazing. Wood count's amazing. Blue could definitely get themselves out of this pickle. And Town Center there! You know what this TC does? This TC loses you the game if things start to get a little hairy here. Like, I don't think it gives you any advantage, really. Except for, you know, a feeling of dominance over the opponent here. Maybe Town Center at home, next to some of your resources where your villagers won't be exposed, but it does kind of, like, block the choke point a little bit. It's domination so far from red. But Mangudai, again, as I've been saying, if you get the numbers up, very strong. Conversion would be nice here. Could be 2 conversions for Blue. He's clicked the same exact knight. But he'd only converted with 1, so he could live to tell the tale another day. And Mangudai loop-de-loop around, but they get hit. Still, they survive. Now Blue's got another monk, plus he's got the castle fire here. He saves the monks. And now... whoa, whoa, whoa. Guys. Guys, what's happening? Hello? Earth to both players. Oh, God, the town bell has been rung. Well, I have to imagine that the pathing got weird because of Blue's walls. And Blue's, like, clicked those villagers to a tree that's on the other side or something. But wow, okay. All right. And here goes the third TC now. Oh, maybe that was it too. Maybe he tried to place the TC. I didn't see if the foundation was there. Yeah, so that's twice that red has used the town bell. I guess it's just easier for red to just click the hotkey than to garrison, but it was a little surprising because I feel like gathering your villagers and pressing the garrison hotkey to click them into the TC is just as easy once you get it down. Blue, you need to be massing Mangudai. Mangudai all the time. And like, red is like, is opposite day for him. He's built a TC where he should have a castle, and he's building a castle where he should have a town center. But I guess at the end of the day, you've got more villagers and you've got your resources secured. And what I would be considering here, over the long run, is Elite Skirm. Elite Skirm and Trebuchets is what you'll probably want. Blue has more farms than farmers right now. Is producing out of all TCs, but doesn't have a ton of working farmers. And is redocking, yes! Telling you, man, these fishing ships, they've done so many good things for Blue, and will continue to. Okay, we've got a knight here from Blue. This is one that was converted earlier. That's not bad. We'll clear out these skirmishers. That's going to be frustrating for red. Red's going to work on getting relic number 1 and potentially relic number 2 as these skirmishers go down. Again, like, no gate here, you know. It's real easy for opponent to run in here, but okay. We now have the knight attacking the converted knight. Converted knight obviously a bit weaker right now. People using the town bell don't use the hotkey. They click it. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, I guess, like... Well, I mean... Yeah, I honestly don't know the answer to that. I'd have to ask someone who was doing it. Okay, so we've got Latus. We've got some skirms. Red space has a lot of openings. Like blue's base layout is a lot better. This castle protects a large portion of this back eco. This castle protects the right side. The walls are, well, they're walls. This villager could actually get woo-woo-wooed here. It's the stupidest thing, man. It should not be wolves on water maps. Woo-woo-woo! Wouldn't you know it, the castle's in the perfect position. Also, ballistics is in, and oh, God, stop. Oh, my God, so much of his eco went idle for no reason. You guys know how I feel about that. Oh, that's so painful, man. It's like, Red is a good player, so, like, it's a very lazy way of dealing with it. For a player who seems to have some real talent here. Like good blacksmith upgrades, decent economy transitions, and now you have blue on the way to imp. Still massing Mangudai. Similar Vil count. Missing a lot of upgrades. Mangudai will need Bloodlines, Thumbring, Parthian. But yeah. Alright, Mangudai running into the TC fire there. Again, TC has ballistics. Plus, there's elite skirms on the way. Nice job from Red to wall this. Also adding TC number 4. And the Mangudai, I think we're clicked past that. Oh my. Oh my. Ah, stop it. Don't do this to me. Don't do it, man. Fun thing about Town Bell at this level is that he's still 1200. If he's making a 600 elo decision to ring the Town Bell, he's compensating for it with some 1400 to 15 elo play somewhere else. Yeah, essentially, right? That's what I mean. Guy's got talent. He's hurting himself. It's an easy fix. You might not think it's a big deal because they're only in there for like 10 seconds, but doing that consistently can really set you back. And I think more importantly, just bring me a lot of anxiety. So stop it. Yeah, maybe it's a drop off the resources. Oh, I was wondering if we'd see this hill forts. Let's go. Oh, and of course, that's why he's going to ring the town bell even more now. Hill forts is the one that gives the TC extra range, right? Yo, Blue, you're in trouble, dude. This guy's going to town bell you to death. Now, something that Blue's doing an amazing job of is keeping the Mangudai production rolling while also recognizing that something else is going to be needed to move forward with the Mangudai. I love that. Like, a lot of players will not continue to produce Mangudai as they're going to go for light cav. Now, I guess I shouldn't get too far ahead of myself because we're not actually seeing the light cav yet. But I saw the light cav upgrade, and I'm seeing the cav upgrade, so Blue's thinking about that. Now, Blue's also making trebuchets right now, and Red is building a castle on the left. The Red's about to be an imp as well. Red will have really important castles through the middle and on the left side. We'll have great skirmishers. What do you do with the skirmishers here, I wonder? Hill Forts is so rare, it feels like it's a better tech than people think. I actually think it's a great tech. I think it doesn't help high-level play that frequently. But I think it's particularly good if you're if you're up against Arbalest and you're not an imp yet. So I only had one game where it was super useful for me, but my opponent was Vikings. And that opponent had Arbalest. And I didn't have imp upgrades on my skirms yet, so I went hill forts, and every time I garrisoned my TCs, it would push those arbs away. I think hill forts is genuinely a very good tech, yeah. Okay, so Red's going to try cav with skirms. That's probably the best composition for Lithuanians. The key here for Blue, as I mentioned before, would be the light cav. Now, you know what's funny? If this would have been a castle instead of a TC, Red would have lost... He'd be losing his castle, so maybe it was better for him that he did TC there. Red can see another relic out there. Red's getting cav armor. Red's got bracer. Red's got skirm armor too, and these Mangudai have no support. I don't know. I got excited about Blue's position because he has the Mangudai mass, but he needs to have some light cavalry in front here. This is an awful fight for him to be taking. Really need to spend all that food on light cav. You can see he's trying now. He's kind of run out of space. This is why all-in pushes on this map work, because players just get so cramped. Great job from Red with his production, but a lot of his farming eco was in the middle of the map. So it doesn't actually have that much food compared to Blue. Blue can definitely do this. It might not seem like it right now. It's going to be decided over the next couple minutes, but Blue can definitely push his back. He just needs more stables. And there's the stables. And Blue needs patience, but Red's not going to give him time. Red's going to go directly in for the castles, and now Blue's going to freak out a little bit, possibly. No, not yet. So what higher level Elo players would do is they would repair this castle and wait for the light cap to mass. Obviously hard for Blue to get that right. Oh, you know what's going to hurt Blue? Is when the castle goes down, pop capped. When the production's needed, too. It's a very difficult timing here. Okay, light cap's going to come in. Castle's gone down. Now he's pop capped. So none of the new light cap are going to arrive. Treb's gone down for Red. Blue's light cav are dying. The Mangudai are killing some of the cav, though, from Red. Good job from Red. Just run in with the cav here. Go right for the trebuchets. Ooh, man. That was complicated. Really tricky timing there. But I think Red hit the proper time windows. Honestly, I think if Blue doesn't open with trebs and Blue just focuses on army and maybe just one treb or something, like, I think Blue could still swing it back because there's a lot of light cav in queue. It's very tricky. He's not looking to give up just yet. Mangudai are killing the cav. I'd also love to see that Hussar upgrade, right? Just light cav is a little underwhelming. Hussar, especially with Mongols, something you want to rush out. Okay, Mangudai still producing. That's something that gives me some faith that Blue could actually do this, is that he continues to produce Mangudai as he's producing the Hussars. But Red also is macroed really well and is up to 35 farms. I feel like these players are better Imp players than they are Castle Age players. And that's not always the case. Sometimes it feels like players are better in Castle Age and they get worse in Imp. Like, looking at their unit queues, their upgrades, and their production, I'm very impressed for 1200. So my guess would be that if it goes to late game, both of them have pretty solid win rates. But in, like, the earlier stages is where some things can go wrong. There's so many skirms, so much cav, more trebs on the way. And, yeah, look at Red's eco, man. Yeah, Red's post and play is really solid. You don't have to be quite as cute. Everything's not quite as specific, I guess. In the later stages of the game, it's more about, I guess, the basics, which are not so easy. Wow, okay, like, no conversions there for Blue is kind of unfortunate. Like, I'm one of those players, so my win rate gets better as the game goes on. And then there's plenty of players I play against that their win rate is better the first half of the game. Like the first 20 or 30 minutes. As much as I thought Blue could do it, I just don't know if that's possible anymore. Too much of the farming eco has been pushed back. There's too little space to expand to on the sides. Something I'd love to see from Red, and, you know, while pushing here, is just mass a couple trebuchets here. Wait for the proper moment, and then treb this down. You could even include that with a castle drop right next to it if you're worried about protecting it. Yeah, Red did a really sick job with his production. Of, like, skirmishers combined with the cav. Mangudai are good against siege, so that treb goes down. Blue could take the next one as well and stall out what might be the inevitable now. Mangudai fall away. T90, what do you think of Latus compared to the Nightline? I feel they're very strong, but still get neglected. Well, I think they need nerfed, honestly. I think the unit ignoring armor and having... I think they have more damage per second than any other unit in the game. At least in Castle Age. I think it's way too strong. I don't think it gets overlooked. I think it's a production thing, right? So, you know, in Red's case, he could have considered Latus because he had 3 castles. But sometimes you need to make a decision on, am I producing Latus or am I producing Trebs? And if you go Cavalier, it's still very, very strong. You can produce them while also making Trebs. So my opinion is that they're ridiculously strong. If you want me to simplify it. I think they're very, very strong. Are you allowed to play ranked with mods like small trees and the like? Oh, yeah, of course. Of course. Yep, you can do that. Yeah, if you want to see data on... if you want to see data on your win rates and whatnot, you can go to aoenexus.com and you should be able to type your name in there. Yeah, GG. Blue. Pick the Mongols on a pretty Mongol-dominant map and got destroyed. 2-1 KD there from Armo. Good stuff. Commanded Arm Rush getting in. Switching into skirms was strong. Good pressure. It just felt like Blue was under pressure most of the game. But that was doable for Blue. It felt like that timing on the attack was perfect for Red. If you used any later, I think Blue would have the light calf number and Blue would be able to push that back.